I'm going to teach you guys how to take your lawn from looking like this to... Check that out, you guys. Can you believe that color? This transformation happened in 2 weeks. I'm going to take you step by step how I achieved this. This will completely transform your yard, and it'll be something you're proud of, and you'll be the complete envy of the neighborhood. You can see the lawn is looking pretty darn good so far. It was a brutal year. You can see I did get a little bit of fungus damage right along the edge right here, and you can see out here kind of in the middle too. It's working on trying to recover, but I had quite a bit of fungus ravaging out in here. But I want to go darker with this lawn, so that's what we're going to do today, and I'm going to take you the step-by-step process for overseeding. So step one is going to be mowing, so let's get that done. All right, all scalped, basically. Kind of tragic, but the trick is to mow it to pretty short. I'm currently mowing this about 1.5 inches in length. 1 inch to 1.5 inches is good. As you saw, I grow my lawn a little longer than normal, so cutting it down to 1 inch is going to be a little too big of a shock for it. So we're going to go with 1.5 inches. Obviously, you'll want to make sure that you're completely catching and bagging the clippings. You can see here how much material I've already pulled out. I've almost done an entire bin's worth, so that's pretty crazy. All right, next step is dethatching or scarifying. I'm going to be dethatching because that's the tool I have, and it's worked pretty darn good over the years for me. All right, so the tool that we're going to be using today is this dethatcher from Greenworks. I highly recommend getting one of these electric type dethatchers. I'll leave a link for one in the description that can do both dethatching and scarifying. They're dirt cheap, and they really save your back a lot of heavy work. And you can rent one, but it's almost the same price to rent one as it is to buy one of these cheap electric models. What this particular unit has is just a series of these metal spring-loaded tines, and this drum spins around really quickly and it digs up all of the dead thatch layer that's in the lawn. So that's what we're going to do next here. It never ceases to amaze me how much material is in the lawn. And this is only after 6 months, basically, of time. I did it before. But if you take a look, the vast majority of this is the dead material. There's a few green grass blades, but the vast majority is this brown, I call it straw. It's just the dead material that was down inside the lawn. And we want to get all of that out because we need as much seed to soil contact as possible. If the seed is landing on all of that dead material, it's not reaching the soil and will not germinate. One more comment on why I use a dethatcher instead of a scarifier, and that is because I've got an in-ground sprinkler system. Now, a lot of the heads are around the edge, but there are some in the middle, and I scarified once a couple of years ago, and I damaged like 8 heads because of the spinning metal blades that are far less forgiving when it comes to hitting sprinkler heads versus these metal tines. So I found that this works really good for my particular application. Your mileage may vary. Okay, so I'm going to clean this all up with the lawnmower quick, and then we're actually going to go one more time with the dethatcher the opposite direction. All right, it's a lot of work, but I think we're done. You can see up here where the fungus was really taking hold, we've got kind of a bare spot there, and kind of along here, which is great. But even out here in the middle of the lawn, can you see how we can now see the dirt very, very easily amongst the grass blades? So that's just what we want. That's going to create the perfect environment for our new grass seed to grow. And what they say, it's got to look worse before it looks better. That I have yet to do. I have over 10,000 square feet between this backyard and front yard. So anyway, it definitely beats the grass up a little bit, and you can see the difference between the long grass that has yet to be mowed and dethatched versus this plot that is finished. I won't bore you guys though watching me do the whole thing. I'll just show you the results at the end. The grass seed that we're going to be using is Night Shift. This is from Lawn Life, and this is the perennial ryegrass mix. Supposedly the darkest mix of grass available right now. And that's the hope. We want to go dark. So I've just got under 11,000 square feet total. We're going to put down 10 pounds per 1,000 here. So each of these bags are 25 pounds. It's going to cover my 10,000 plus square feet just about perfectly. The spreader I'm going to be using today is from Earthway. The main thing that I like about Earthway spreaders is their bucket shape design here. It really just helps funnel all the product out the holes, so you don't have a bunch left over that you're trying to get out at the very end. So what I'm going to do first, actually, before spreading, is I'm just going to take some handfuls and just go heavy on the edges with the grass seed here, just because the spreader doesn't do a very good job getting the edges. Next, we are going to rake the seed in. So I've got a rake right here. Now, pro tip, this is 100% unsponsored or anything, but if you guys do not have or have never used a groundskeeper 2 rake like this, you are severely missing out. It saves your back, does a fantastic job raking stuff in. I'll leave a link for it down in the description so you guys can check it out further. It's one of my most used yard tools. All right, we are all finished raking. I don't know if you saw with that rake, but did you see how I was able to just pull it back and forth behind me? That's what I love about it. The tines grip, but they don't catch on stuff, and you don't need a lot of downward force because of how it's engineered. And it's just super easy to just pull it through, rake it in. That's a very important step because there's a lot of seed that's sitting potentially up on the grass blades, and just that little bit of vegetation helps a lot more seed fall down through the leftover canopy of the existing grass into the soil. The final step here is getting really good seed to soil contact. So you need to roll something heavy over it. That could just be like a riding lawnmower tractor wheel back and forth. That could be one of those rollers, actual yard rollers that you fill up with water that you rent. I don't have any of those, but I do have a spare tire here that's quite heavy, and then by the time I put a little weight on it, rolling it around, it's going to do a very nice job of giving some compaction and making sure I have good seed to soil contact. And you might be able to see, but the seed is very well mashed into the ground, so I'm pretty confident in this. The other comment that people always ask is, do you need to put down peat moss or something like that to protect the seed? Maybe in kind of a bare spot like I've got right here, that could be a good idea, but I've never had issues with that because the existing lawn actually acts as the covering, so that's why overseeding is so effective. Final step here is to give everything a nice wet down. You got to keep that seed moist, so we'll be running the sprinklers every day, multiple times a day, just to be sure that it stays nice and moist and germinates well. And you can see the whole backyard here is done. It's a lot of work, but definitely pays big dividends. Now I've just got to do the front yard. I'll just show you the results on that one. Okay guys, it has been exactly 1 week. Look how much better the lawn is already looking. Bouncing back here after we tore it up. Remember this spot that was all bare and nasty? Look at all the cute grass babies. So our night shift lawn is coming in and coming in with gusto. So now that the grass babies are 1 inch, they're actually just a slight bit longer than 1 inch, I'm going to go ahead and put some starter fertilizer down on this. You could probably put it down when you overseed at the same time, but I personally like to let the lawn germinate and then hit it with some fertilizer. And the fertilizer we're going to use today is this stuff from Lawn Life as well. This is the Dark Matter starter fertilizer. Again, I'm using my Earthway bucket style spreader, and there are instructions here, and it recommends setting it on the number 14 setting. Obviously, you can adjust that for calibration of your spreader and your walking speed. So here's the fertilizer in the bucket. The prill size is definitely on the larger size compared to other fertilizers out there, but this should get the lawn off to an even better start. All right, we're all finished. Stay tuned for a few more days. We'll be back 2 weeks after overseeding, guys. This is where we've landed. Wow, wow, wow. You cannot beat that color. This is how this part of the back lawn looked before, and this is it after. Just look at it. It's a thing of beauty. Let me go show you the front lawn. And this is the perspective of this front lawn before. And this is it after. Just absolutely stunning. You cannot beat that dark green color. And this is how the front lawn looked from this vantage point before. And check it out now, you guys. Absolutely gorgeous. So huge thanks to Lawn Life for putting this grass seed together. I am very pleased with it. I'm going to leave links to it down in the description. There's a bunch of different varieties of this grass seed you can get. The one I used was the perennial ryegrass mix. My understanding that is the one that will get you the darkest color. But they do have tall fescue as well as Kentucky bluegrass mixes. Also, check out Lawn Life's YouTube channel. I'm going to leave a link for that down in the description as well. If you like lawn care content, that is a great place to find it. Next to, of course, There's a Trick for That, right? I'm totally kidding. He's got a fantastic lawn care YouTube channel. I'm also going to leave a link to my playlist of all my lawn care content, because I've done a lot over the years, and I think you'll enjoy seeing what I've done. There's definitely some unique tricks and hacks that not very many people out there show you. And please allow me to continue to bring this content free for you on YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Doing those 4 simple things, as well as the new 5th thing that YouTube just released, and that's hyping videos. If you'd consider doing those 5 free things for me, that would really, really help. I love having you as my YouTube family, and I can't wait to show you more stuff. Now, if you've lasted to this point in the video, I want to tell you a huge thank you. I've got a little bonus treat here for you at the end.